the MOSFET unity gain frequency FT is a very important parameter in analysis of MOSFETs and also in selection of a proper device to obtain the required gain. So what is this MOSFET unity gain frequency? It is also considered as a figure of merit for high frequency operation of MOSFET, and it is known as because at this frequency the gain of the MOSFET becomes 1. We talk about current gain. The current gain of the MOSFET becomes 1. So it represents a transition in the MOSFET, and it is called the transition frequency. That's why the symbol FT. Okay, FT represents the MOSFET unity gain frequency, also known as transition frequency. So let's try to derive that frequency in this MOSFET circuit. So as I was telling you, here we have considered that simplified model. From the simplified model, I am applying a current, input current II to this model, and I am short circuiting the output terminals. We call this as short circuit current gain. So what we now find is known as short circuit current gain of the common source configuration. We want to show FT represents that frequency of operation when this short circuit current gain becomes 1. And how do I find a short circuit current gain? I should first short the output terminals and find the value of current I0 flowing through that by applying an input current II. So let's consider an input current II, short the output terminals and consider the current I0. So what happens when I short the output terminals? This R0 will not have any effect. There is a short circuit across this. So naturally no current will flow through a resistance. R0 is high. Please remember it is in 40, 50 or 100K range. So R0 will not have any effect. So what happens to this current I0? It is divided into two portions. One is this GM-VGS. The other is the value of current flowing through this capacitance CGD. So GM-VGS is one part of I0. The other part is the current, let me call it as IGD, the current flowing through the capacitance CGD. Okay, and let's try to find how much is that current. As you can see here, the value, how do I find the current IGD? Voltage drop across this CGD. At this end it is, what's the voltage at this end? At this end the voltage is the gate source voltage, VGS, correct? So here I have VGS. What is the voltage at the drain end? It is 0. The voltage at this end, there is a short circuit across the output. So the drain voltage end, it is 0. This is VGS. So what is the difference in voltage across the capacitance? VGS minus 0, or if I measure from this end, I0 is shown in this direction. So if I try to find the value of current IGD like this, it will become, the voltage drop will be 0 minus VGS, the voltage drop across the capacitance, divided by, what is the impedance across the capacitance? 1 by S CGD. So what do you get? You get minus VGS divided by 1 by S CGD, which is nothing but minus of S CGD VGS as shown here. So you can see in this case, the value of I0 has two parts, GM VGS here and IGD here. That IGD is computed like this. The voltage drop is 0 minus VGS and the impedance across this capacitance is 1 by S into CGD. This is D. So this is minus, what does it turn out to be? Minus S CGD into VGS. Okay. So the voltage is VGS. So this is the value of the current. What is the, which current have I found now? The output current. Now input current should be written in terms of VGS. If I can take VGS as the common factor here. Okay. So what he does in the textbook, though he finds this, next he will neglect the second term considering this to be very small. Since CGD is very small, you can neglect the second term. So he considers I naught as just the main current GM VGS. Okay. Similarly, this VGS now, I want an expression for VGS in terms of this current II. How do I find that? I can find the value of VGS by considering what happens effectively as seen from this side. This current II flows through CGS in parallel with CGD. Why do I say these two are in parallel? Because this terminal is at zero potential and this resistance is as good as not being there in the circuit, correct? So effectively, these two capacitances will be in parallel. And what is the parallel combination of two capacitors? CGS plus CGD. Okay. So the value of the voltage is given as current into the effective capacitance. So II into 1 by S into CGS plus CGD. Remember, when capacitors are in parallel, their value gets added up. So CGS plus CGD is the effective capacitance of these two which are in parallel. And I also told you why they are in parallel. So the potential at this end is 0. So it is as good as telling these two are in parallel. Okay. So now you'll see the voltage VGS is current II into what? II into 1 by effective capacitance S into CGS plus CGD. Okay. So this will be the effective capacitance now, and it is nothing but II divided by S into CGS plus CGD, as you can see in this equation. Okay. So now we have written VGS in terms of II, and I know the value of I naught. You substitute this VGS in this previous expression. For VGS, if I substitute II by S into CGS plus CGD, what am I interested in? I am interested in the current gain AI. How do I define AI? I naught by II. So you can see I naught by II will become GM divided by S into CGS plus CG. This is a very important factor known as the current gain of the MOSFET. And this current gain, as I told you, it's called short circuit current gain. And this helps us in measuring the transition frequency Ft. So let's try to measure the transition frequency Ft. How do I measure this transition frequency Ft? So replace S with j omega, and where do I have that? I have S in the denominator. I'll replace it with j omega, and I'm trying to find what is the value of that omega. Remember, at omega equal to omega t, the gain, short circuit current gain becomes 1. That's what we said. So omega t is that frequency which is found as GM by CGS plus CGD. So we had already shown GM by CGS plus CGD. So when will this become 1? When I'm replacing S with j omega, and when I'm putting omega as GM by CGS plus CGD, both will cancel out and this current becomes 1. Okay. So I have some disturbance, so I'm just muting. Okay. So the value of this current gain becomes, put S as j omega first. Then for omega, you substitute omega t as GM by CGS plus CGD. So what happens when you substitute? Illy, the current gain ಇಲ್ಲಿ just s ಬದಲು j omega ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಒಮೆಗಾಗೆ ಒಮೆಗಾ ಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಒಮೆಗಾ ಟಿ ನ gm/cgs plus cgd ಅಂತ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈ s ಬದಲು ಇಲ್ಲಿ s ಬದಲು ಏನ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ, j gm by what cgs ಈ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೇ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, gm ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಟೋಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 1 ಅಂತ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ನಮ್ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್. we have defined this current gain, short circuit current gain as 1. When it is 1, that is called our transition frequency, and the value of that transition frequency is given with this. Okay, so nimga derivation kashta agate andre you need not remember the whole derivation here. You can just remember the value of this transition frequency omega t. So
we can skip the derivation, ma'am. Can we skip
derivation? You can skip. If you don't follow, you can just skip the derivation and try to remember this formula. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And please remember that this is what is omega t. Omega t, if I write it as in terms of ft, remember f is omega by 2 pi. So for omega, if I just substitute this, I'll get the actual transition frequency ft as gm by 2 pi into cgs plus cgd. So effectively this is that frequency at which, so if I draw the characteristics, if I plot current gain, please remember I am plotting current gain versus frequency. The gain will be constant initially, high for whatever value you have designed. After some time it starts dropping. So the value, whenever the value of this current gain becomes 1, so whenever ai becomes 1, whatever frequency I'm going to get, that is called my transition frequency ft. Is that clear now? So the transition frequency ft is that frequency whenever the current gain becomes 1, and the device is useful in that range. Before this ft I can use the device. After ft the device is of no use to me. It won't work according to your design. If you try to work the device after ft, it will be a total failure. So that's the importance of ft. It will tell us when to use the device and how the design should be. It will tell us the limiting frequency of usage for the device. I can't operate the device beyond this ft. That's the main advantage of finding ft. Is it clear? So this is about ft. So in summary, what we have discussed, let's see here. gm, I think you can these are old formulae. If possible you remember, otherwise you remember only the last one, 2id by vov, and the second one gmb we are anyway going to neglect. You can skip that. r naught, the output resistance, all these are the parameters in the equivalent model. r naught is computed as the channel length modulation voltage, va divided by id. Remember, va can also be written as 1 by lambda many times. Next is cgs, the gate to source capacitance. I am talking about the cgs in saturation. So it will be 2 by 3 WLCox plus the overlap capacitance WLOVCox. CGD will have only the overlap capacitance because it is 0 here. And other than that, this is the hybrid pi model, the actual model, but the simplified model we saw will not have this capacitance. Source and body will be shorted. It won't have this current source. GMB VBS will be removed in the simplified model. Anyway, and the other two capacitances, source to body capacitance, this is the value CSBO divided by √1 plus VSB by V0. Same thing for this CdV. Remember, dB0 stands for the capacitance at zero reverse bias, and VdV stands for the given value of reverse bias voltage. V0 is the junction voltage, 0.6 to 0.8 volts typically. And finally, the transition frequency Ft is that frequency beyond which we can't operate the MOSFET. So please remember, it is the frequency at which the current gain becomes 1, and beyond this transition frequency, the MOSFET cannot be used as an amplifier, and it is defined as Gm by 2 pi into CGS plus CGD. Okay, so let us try to solve a problem for that. Find Ft for the N-channel MOSFET. Can you hear me? Find Ft for the N-channel MOSFET whose the values are all capacitances as in the previous exercise. Assume operation at 100 microamperes and Kn dash. The MOSFET. What? All the values are as in the previous problem. Remember, we did a problem for finding this capacitors. This
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this one. All the values are as given in this problem. All capacitance values also are the same. All you have to find here is find Ft. So you have to find Ft, for which he is giving us the operation current and Kn dash. So remember, Ft is calculated as Gm by 2 pi into CGS plus CGD. And how do I find Gm? Kn dash is given. W by L was given in that problem. 10 micrometer divided by 1 micrometer. Kn dash is 160 microampere per volt square. And ID is 100 microampere. Operation current is given. So you use 2